begin with breaking news tonight from Hawaii health officials of a possible case of Ebola in our state. Good evening, I'm Yanji Denise.
And I'm Paula Akana. Health officials tell us that it's still very early in their investigation, but they do confirm that a patient is in isolation at an Oahu hospital. KITV4's Brenton Awa back from the health department with more. Brenton.
Hey, Paula, state officials haven't given out details about the patient, but we now know that the person in question is at the Queens Medical Center. We've just acquired an internal document that was given to hospital employees by Queens management. Now, in the document, it says that the Queens Medical Center is evaluating a patient for possible symptoms that may be consistent with Ebola. It goes on to say that the patient's history and clinical presentation do not appear to be consistent with Ebola. Health officials tell us doctors have yet to test the patient, but if they do decide on testing for Ebola, this would be their first patient in Hawaii following the CDC's new guidelines for hospitals to follow for these types of cases.
I just want people to know that it's still very unlikely that a true case of Ebola, an actual case of Ebola, is going to make it to Hawaii. But if it did, we have preparations in place for that event so that people should not be concerned about their individual risk of catching Ebola, even if that should happen here.
Health officials say that the patient could be sick for a number of different reasons, not including Ebola. They want the public to know that it is very unlikely for this illness to make it to our islands, but are already have preparations to contain the disease, and that's in place. Again, still very early on in this investigation. If health officials decide to test the patient, we're told they'd get the results back within a matter of days, but so far, no decision has been made to test that patient for Ebola. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much. And we've been hearing a lot about Ebola lately. The 2014 outbreak, the largest in the history, and the first Ebola epidemic the world has ever known, affecting multiple countries in West Africa.
Yeah, and just today, the first Ebola patient diagnosed here in the United States was confirmed in Dallas, Texas. We'll have much more on that later in our newscast during our National Roundup.